The following automotive profile is courtesy of Lexus of Barrie, 281 Mapleview Drive in Barrie, Ontario. Hey folks, this is Riley for Car Clips Canada. Today I'm very pleased to bring you this 2013 Lexus RX350 F-Sport. For those who aren't aware, Lexus has been manufacturing the RX series for over 10 years now, and it has by far and a long way been the industry leader, really setting the bar as far as the premium crossover series of vehicles go. So as always, I'll give you guys an in-depth tour of the vehicle. We'll highlight some of the details on the outside, some of the new changes to the 2013 model, as well as some of the performance-oriented additives for the F-Sport. And I'll have a look in the interior, turn on the instruments, get an exhaust clip, and at the end of the video I'll provide you guys with kind of my final reflection on the car. So let's take a look. So obviously at first glance the RX F-Sport does take a more aggressive and sporty stance to the traditional consumer premium crossover. Walking around the vehicle here, you notice the RX series, and in fact the entire Lexus lineup has undergone kind of a remodel. The front grille most noticeably. This new style is actually, I really do like it a lot. It isn't easy to design something that's new and innovative all the time, and obviously other premium brands such as Acura, Audi, BMW, Mercedes, they have their own kind of styling, and it's gone relatively unchanged, but Lexus has really come up with something brand new, and it is just awesome. On the side of the vehicle there, you notice there is the F-Sport. The F-Sport is kind of going to act as Lexus's kind of their new M series, or the new AMG lineup. It's good, that little emblem is going to appear on all their high-end models. So for instance, this Lexus RX will be the highest trim level for the RX series. Exclusive to the RX, you do have split 5-spoke 19-inch alloys, kind of finished in a dark, kind of a polished pewter there. Very large brake calipers at the front there, and does have 4-wheel disc brakes all around. And one thing to note here, this ducktail spoiler on the back here, that seems to have been a feature that Lexus has decided to fully implement in all of their RX models. So that was usually an option on older versions. I know this because my mother has an older RX which is bereft of that detail, and it looks pretty sharp. And of course the central brake light at the back there is embedded in the underside of that duck spoiler, with the radio aerial on top. Moving down to the front of the car here, the front quarter panel, you'll notice the headlights have also gone under a remodel. This does have daytime LED running lights all along the bottom perimeter there and up the center side. And then high intensity discharge headlamps are also standard. The grille itself, in addition to this kind of a sharp bladed design, also has this kind of a honeycomb style zigzag with the very large Lexus emblem front and center. Another nice feature at the front of the design here is that the F-Sport in particular has this extra, very large gaping air intake at the back, which kind of adds. You could rationalize that as a front splitter. It certainly adds to the appearance of the car greatly. One last little thing here I want to note here: the vehicle does have LED turn signals on the driver and passenger side mirrors, and all throughout the car there's very nice chrome detailing on this model in particular, all along the windowsills, wrapping back up. Beautiful touch. The RX obviously does have a keyless entry, and it's a very nice key fob actually. There's the lock, unlock, panic button, and a very nice hatch opener at the back which you hold. We'll open the rear hatch. Very nice. Another nice feature of the key fob here is this little metallic component there. You pull that little lever back, and this whole component will actually lift out. and in there you'll find a key, which can be used to access the door, you know, kind of the old-fashioned way, just by putting the key right in there. And the rationale for doing this is in case the key fob itself, the batteries happen to die. I mean, you're never kind of a ship without sails, as it were. You'll always have this on hand, so you can access your vehicle and get back on the road until you're able to find your batteries for your key fob. That's a very smart piece of design. I like that a lot. The RX350 F Sport does also have kind of a touch-sensitive access there, as long as you have the key fob on your person or within range of the car. If you just, the car is locked right now, if you just touch the tab there, it will lock it, touch and hold, and it will unlock the car. And this particular RX350 F Sport is finished in the Lexus Starfire Pearl color. In the interior it does have the ebony bird's eye maple wood inserts there on the door, as well as components of the center console. And this is the black leather interior as well. Okay, just taking a step in. There we are. And I mean, needless to say, I mean, being a Lexus, the fit and finish is absolutely, I mean, it's unbelievable. Beautiful steering wheel with the F Sport emblem kind of centralized in the bottom spoke of the steering wheel, finished in kind of a brushed aluminum. And pinhole leather and very thick baseball stitching running all the way around, with modest side bolstering grip extensions there as well. And just to acknowledge the style of the door here, this is quite nicely trimmed. There's a lot of leather work here, very little plastic actually. The only plastic insert I can really find here is this little portion around here with a small speaker. There's the 4 presets there for the seat settings for the driver. So you can have up to 3 favorites, whether you have someone short or tall, and somebody kind of in the middle there, which is fantastic. The door lever is finished in a nice chrome, which is a great contrast to the black leather. Nice seam work. And as I mentioned, the ebony bird's eye maple wood insert there. And that's actually, you know, this is real wood too. There's no faux appeal here. It's the real deal. You have all 4 fully automatic electric windows, as well as the option to lock the windows and the controls for the electric mirrors to adjust them to the, your favorite setting, obviously, for optimal visibility. There is also a very large speaker down there, and that will be similar to the passenger side, as well as a large, very nice large opening and closing storage bin with a cup holder insert down the bottom. Beautiful. And just a few other, before we get into the car and turn it on here, a few other very decadent luxury features I want to note here. Of course, there is the Lexus logo, which is kind of finished in like a brushed aluminum on the bottom of the door sill. And of course, fully electric power adjustable seats, forwards, backwards, obviously to tilt, back down, the adjustment for the back of the seat, forward and back. And this is a very nice feature here. This will actually inflate and deflate the lower lumbar there to match the curvature of the user's spine, which is very nice. So to inflate and to deflate. Maybe kind of a modest touch, but that would certainly become noticeable if you're driving for a long period of time. Very nice feature. And the seat design is obviously, again, the black leather with a pinhole leather touch going around all the way down the backside to the lower lumbar, as well as on the seat, wrapping around the front. And again, beautiful seam work running along the perimeter of the chair and up the side of the bolstering extensions, up around the headrest. Very nice. So to start the vehicle up, this Lexus RX F Sport does have a push-button ignition. Again, simply have the key fob in the car with you, or at least within range. Foot on the brake. Notice the little LED light will light up there. Without the brake on, it will turn off. So depress the brake, and let's get started. And just once again. So in case you didn't notice there, the seat itself does move back to its last presetting, and the steering wheel will also adjust to its last presetting also. Very nice. So let's take a look at the engine at this point, and I'll tell you a little bit about it, as well as the drivetrain and some of the other mechanics here. So, obviously the hood release. There it is. And the front here, find the little lever to lift up with the hood. And up it goes effortlessly, as the hood itself is also supported by 2 hydraulic gas struts, 1 on each side. In case you're not familiar, the way that Lexus names their vehicles, the number sequence indicates the displacement of the engine. So this being the RX350 F Sport, it does have a 3.5 liter V6. This engine will produce 270 horsepower and 248 foot-pounds of torque. This engine and heads are aluminum, so it's a full aluminum block engine there. And it does have dual variable valve timing, 4 valves per cylinder. And like I said, this engine is mounted to an 8-speed automatic gearbox. The RX350 F Sport does come with aluminum brushed sport pedals, which is specific to this model only. Moving up the side here, there's obviously the hood release, as well as the fuel filler cap release, trunk release, and there's actually an extra cup holder here for the driver, which is nice. So I'll take a look at the headlights actually. Stock, of course, on the left side of the steering wheel, right behind the negative paddle shifter there. Noticing some details in the rear view mirror there. There are 3 presets, so you can operate and open and close up to 3 garage doors. Very nice. Coming back here, this RX is equipped with a sunroof right there, fully electric. So of course, to open the sunroof, pull back the interior panel, and then hit this button to open. It's fully automatic. And it's a very nice day out today. Beautiful. Obviously to close, it will close automatically. And even still, you can lift the rear end just to get some ventilation. And that will lift the posterior end of the window itself. And then to lower that again, press close. Very nice. And there is some nice illumination here. There's obviously the driver's side, passenger side, as well as kind of a larger yellow ambient lighting there too, which is very nice. And of course, sunglass storage. And moving up the center console here, just pulling this back. You'll notice it is kind of, it is actually quite cavernous. There's obviously a little tray here for coins or a cell phone or what have you. There's actually a significant amount of room in here. It is quite cavernous. To give you an idea, I mean, there's my arm. So it will go all the way up my forearm. There's really, this is the most amount of room I've ever seen in a center console glove box. Very nice. And a little feature here, this door will close there, and you can fold this down. And there's kind of a more shallow floor. Or you can flip it up, And the idea there is you can put kind of a novel or a book, easy storage in that capacity at least. 12-volt socket down low, as well as a USB and auxiliary port input for either iPod or mobile devices that will interface with the car's audio system. Very nice. Both the driver and passenger side seats are heated or cooled, ventilated through the back, which is very nice. It is a tad warm out today, so I can just toggle this over to 3, which is the maximum for cool, and there's actually cool air circulating at my back, which is a very, very decadent feature. Very nice. And similarly in the wintertime, toggle this back to 0 and then go on the hot side all the way to 3 again, and there is a electric resistor in the seat which will heat up and keep my backside rather comfortable. And this can actually be moved to slide back and forth to obscure those options if you like. Perhaps to keep guests in the car from fiddling around with too many options, just hide it. Very clever, I like that. Moving up here again, there's another example. That's actually a couple cup holders there. But again, another example of the ebony bird's eye maple wood. Very nice. And this is kind of this is a very nice feature. Lexus has been doing this for some years. The more recent models, I guess. This is kind of it's like a mouse is what it is. This is kind of like the Lexus iDrive, if you will. This little square here, this little pad, kind of outlined in a nice little chrome, is leather, and this thing will shift back and forth. And as you can see, that's my navigation for the screen there. Really beautiful, very smooth. That's probably one of the best interfaces I've ever experienced. That's awesome. And again, just above that, there is the menu settings as well as the voice-activated navigation control. Yeah, there's a little indication of where we are right now at the dealership. And again, on the computer system main screen there, while using this to navigate, you can select things by depressing it just like a mouse. Tap down. So for example, I can go down to show map, and I'll select that. And you can click and drag to navigate your way around the screen here. This is very nice. Very, very well designed system. There's our current position right there. And just to acknowledge the transmission, this vehicle, as I mentioned, is fully automatic. It is 8 speeds, which may seem like a lot. This is kind of a trend that we're starting to see in more of the high-end, exotic, luxury, premium vehicles. More speeds in the gearbox means the vehicle will be able to stay on the power longer. And this being a more sporty-oriented RX series, I think that's quite reasonable. The 8-speed, I believe, is only available in the F Sport. The other RX350 series will have 6-speed automatics. And of course, the staple park, reverse, neutral, and then drive, with the up and down shiftability there. So, and of course, you can toggle up and down. Very nice. There's a small little LED digital clock there. And the climate control system, which is also fully automatic. There's actually 3 settings there if you want to circulate the air, or you can have or you can obviously have the air being taken in from the front. Very nice. As well as, of course, the rear window defroster, side mirror heaters, the windshield defroster, of course the fully automatic, which is your air conditioning. Just turn it on there. Increase the fan speed. Decrease it. As well as the temperature. You can see in the top left there, increasing and decreasing. Very nice. This vehicle does come with a Mark Evison premium sound system, with Dolby Digital as well as XM radio capability, and of course a CD changer. And the air, just to acknowledge the air vents here, very nice. The driver's side is a bit of a different design, similar to the passenger side. And the center console has these very sleek, very drawn air ducts, as well as the four-ways. Nice. Okay, and we'll see what the sound system itself is like. Again, there it is. You have your power on and off, as well as your volume toggle right to left, and the scroll button to tune either through songs or radio stations. So let's hit it.
Make it easier to read. We'll post a link to it on our blog so you can see the difference for yourself. cbc.ca/spark.
In every inning against Pettit, left one on in the first, two in the
407 where the left lane is closed off, and
very
that's
nice.
because of maintenance work. It's also very busy.
And just moving down below here, there is some extra storage. Kind of a very sturdy looking basin down there, right below the console. And coming back up, I mean, obviously, in this great big inset here is the screen for the navigation system, as well as the sound system, entertainment, you name it. The reason, I mean, of course, the reason that why this is set so deep into the dash is to prevent glare. It does have an anti-glare screen, and obviously this vehicle again does come standard with cruise control. And the 8-speed automatic transmission can also be changed manually by the driver via these aluminum paddle shifters behind the steering wheel. Very nice. And there's also a heads-up display. Not sure if you can see that. There it is. And there's a little key arrangement down here to toggle whether you want to have the heads-up display on or off, measuring in either imperial or metric. The button in the center will adjust the vibrance of the color, I mean how much it stands out, and the button to the far right, the up and down arrows will tilt the angle to make the image itself rise and lower. So I'll demonstrate that now. Here's up, heading back down, a little too far perhaps. And of course the illumination brightness, going far darker, almost transparent, and then increasing, as well as the ability to turn it again to miles per hour, turn it off, and turn it back on in kilometers per hour. Very nice. And the driver and passenger side is obviously equipped. Sun visors do have mirrors integrated into them. Shifting to the side here, notice a light does illuminate, and then when you close it, it turns off. I think it's about time we take a look in the back, and I'll show you what life is like back there. It looks very nice. Okay, we're going to access the back in a second here. This time we're going to use the key fob. So once again, if you want to, the car is locked right now. To unlock it, tap once. That will unlock the driver's side door. Tap it a second time, and 2 beeps will indicate again, and all 4 doors are locked. There we are. Very nice. The fit and finish back here is obviously identical to what it is in the front. The leather work is very nice. Pinhole leather on the lower seats and the back, as well as the lumbar. The center console here will fold down, in bereft of a 5th passenger in the middle. It will fold down to reveal 2 cup holders for adjustable sizes. Very nice. As well as a large storage bin there. Maybe for, if you had the kids for a long drive or something like that, you can store iPods in there, cell phones, coins, miscellaneous things, what have you. Very nice. Center console facing backwards does have 2 air ducts to deliver cool or warm air to the passengers in the back. And the doors as well are just as nicely trimmed. And looking at the roof here, despite the sloping nature of the car towards the tail, there is kind of a nice indentation here to accommodate a little, an extra inch or two of headroom for passengers in the back, as well as illumination. There's obviously the automatic setting from the doors open there. Kind of a yellow light will emit. There's also specific right and left side passenger lights. LED lights for reading. Very nice. Okay, at this time, I think we'll have a look at the trunk. As I mentioned earlier, it can be opened automatically using the key fob by holding that button down. But you can also access it from in here by pressing this button. And the tail will lift open hydraulically. This rear hatch is held up by two automatic hydraulic gas struts. Very nice. And of course, being an SUV, there's a very cavernous amount of room in there for whatever your needs. And those seats will fold flat. Large subwoofer on the left side there. On the right side here, this is actually, you may have noticed, this is actually a very nicely detailed, a very luxurious first aid kit, which can always be handy. And a very cool feature to fold the seats flat to accommodate the most potential room. These levers on the side here, give them a tug. The seats will fold forward, and they will fold flat all the way. This is kind of a release switch. There we go. This bar running across the back here, my mother's RX has something similar. The purpose of that is, in case you're bringing home groceries, there are things that may be temperature sensitive. You can pull this back, and the little hooks on the side there will actually loop. There we are. Into a crevice and lock. There we are. On both sides. Which is very nice. And to take it down, just simply pull them out of the loop there, let it slide back, and we can lift the whole arrangement out like this. And there we are. So there's a good idea of the maximum potential of the cargo space in this vehicle. There is plenty. And to close the hatch, there is a button right up here which will close it automatically. And again, if you really want, you can use the button on the key fob. Holding that down again will close the hatch. So there are a total of 3 different ways. There's a button on the key fob, the button on the hatch itself, as well as the driver button beside the steering wheel at the front of the dash. So just for diversity's sake, we'll try this one. And down it comes. Some of you may have noticed that just below this nice piece of chrome trim here, sitting below the Lexus logo, is that is a little reverse camera. So when you shift the car into reverse, on the main computer screen, that camera will emit an image of what's behind you. So you can always, there's no blind spot on this car. You can always see exactly where you're parking. If you're going to back into a space to avoid a curb, to avoid maybe a shopping cart or something, that amenity is there to make things a little more convenient. I'll demonstrate that right now. And again, to demonstrate the reverse camera, foot on the brake, down to reverse. Okay, and there's our image of the back. Very nice. Upon doing that, the side mirrors as well did flare. I'll show you guys that right now. Okay, once again, all I'm going to do is put the car into reverse, and the mirrors will tilt. To improve visibility when backing up, trying to make the biggest dent in that blind spot as possible. But again, you always have your backup camera there, additionally. And of course, the Lexus RX series, all their vehicles are all-wheel drive. This vehicle does have an active control all-wheel drive, which means that, when you're kind of driving at a very moderate, kind of tepid speeds, the engine will send 100% of its horsepower and torque to the front wheels, which is of course more efficient. But when it's necessary, when the system itself detects any slip in the rear wheels, the engine will send 50% of the torque to the rear wheels, and they will vector from side to side, left to right, to improve traction. One very important feature to note here, this being the RX350 F Sport, the F Sport being the highest trim level of the RX series, this vehicle does have a sport-tuned suspension, which is very, very responsive. I have some experience driving my mother's RX, and it itself is also, I mean, it's very sharp turning, so I can imagine how effective this car will be. It should be very impressive indeed. The steering system on this vehicle is full electric, so at a higher velocity the steering is far more sensitive, making lane changes and bends a little more effortless. And at a low velocity, just cruising in the downtown areas between lights, the electric steering does compensate for that by becoming very loose. The Canadian Energy Guide does rate this 2013 Lexus RX F Sport at 25 miles per gallon city and 37 miles per gallon highway. Adjusted for the metric system, as we are in Canada, that does equate to about 11.2 liters per 100 kilometers city and 7.7 liters per 100 kilometers highway. For my final reflection here, guys, it is extraordinarily very difficult to paint this vehicle in a negative light in any fashion. I mean, the RX series has been one of Lexus's most staple luxury vehicles, and like I said, it is an industry leader for the luxury crossover market. You can compare this vehicle to any, competitor within the equivalent price range, and they really don't stand a chance. My family, like I said, has always catered to Toyota, Lexus, and the level of quality, fit and finish and everything is just absolutely fantastic. These vehicles are scrupulously reliable and wonderful to own, and I think the residual value on these vehicles, whether you're off lease or you choose to purchase, I mean, it speaks for itself. These cars have fantastic, really fantastic resale value. Again, guys, if you have any questions with regards to this particular vehicle, you want to take a test drive or check out any of the models along the Lexus lineup, you can come into Lexus of Barrie at 281 Mapleview Drive in Barrie, Ontario. Lexus is by far and away one of my favorite manufacturers, and it was a real pleasure to come in and shoot this new F Sport. I really do rather like this whole sporty label that Lexus has given its lineup, much like the Mercedes AMG line, the BMW M line, as well as the Audi S line. So I'm very excited to see where this goes, and I hope you guys enjoyed my little detailed tour here. Take care, folks.